Are we live? It says it's upcoming. All right, looks like we're live. Here we go, guys. What's going on? We're going to start the Dallas Mavericks, Boston Celtics. I should hit record so we have this on. Booyah. That way it's there. Do we even, I want to say we uploaded yesterday's episode. I feel like we didn't. There's a good chance we didn't. The uploads onto social media, not social, onto Spotify have been just been bad by me lately. I got to change that. Either way, we got the Dallas Mavericks and Boston Celtics as the two best teams in terms of win streaks coming in to the off the break. And Danny Radford and PJ Washington have seamlessly fit into that organization. Dallas, Boston continues to win games like it's done all season. Now, I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comment section. What do you guys think of the current standing of the NBA? What do you guys expect the rest of the season to look like? And I think, it's definitely going to be a interesting end of the year. I think we're going to see a lot of teams fight for a playoff spot. At the same time, we're going to see a lot of teams pull potentially. I don't think any teams are going to pull out playoff spots because the draft is so shitty this year. I doubt that anybody would really just throw away the opportunity of being in the playoffs just to get a mediocre talent. No offense to the talent in this year's draft. It's just nobody's really high on it. So that kind of creates a conflict where people don't really want a top pick. So it definitely makes everything get a little bit spicier and interesting as the season goes on. But we're going to run through some headlines. I'm, regardless of who shows up today, I expect this to be a short episode as I do have things that I need to do myself today. So let's get right into it. And let's talk about my man Jordan Poole. Okay, also Elon Musk might be buying Disney, which is fucking crazy to think about. But Jordan Poole, if you guys haven't been following, also, do you guys like it when I have the background blurred? Or I feel like when I have the background blurred, I look like I'm a professor. But when it's not blurred, is my kitchen distracting? I think my kitchen's distracting. I also we need to put the salt shaker and pepper away. That pisses me off. So we're gonna keep it. Either way, let's continue. Let's talk about my man, Mr. Jordan Poole. Last night, Jordan Poole came off the bench. Jordan Poole, supposedly, we are hearing that Jordan Poole is one of, if not the worst contract in the NBA. And it's not been great. I mean, we just got to see Jordan Poole. I'm not the type of person that I want to like disparage anybody or I always try to look at the glass half full instead of half empty. And it's been bad. It's been bad with Jordan Poole. And I don't want to blame him, but at this point we changed the coaching staff and he still hasn't changed, is the way I would put it. And that's where it becomes difficult. Because when you have a guy like Jordan Poole, the expectation is that he was going to be someone who was going to be able to make an impact. And obviously, that has not happened. I kept saying, I was like, maybe he could be like Eric Gordon, where Eric Gordon rebuilt his trade value by being put on like the not rebuilt, but became like a wanted player because he was on the Pelicans, Hornets when that happened. But Jordan Poole is unhappy about being moved to the bench. Interim head coach Brian Keefe, who I'm being told is probably going to be the long-term head coach, made his first big lineup change since taking over. Keefe moved Jordan Poole to the bench, who have been starting all 52 games he had played this season. And obviously, when asked about the lineup change, Jordan Poole let it be known he's really not happy with it. Quote, if there's any common sense with the situation, you should know how I feel. But I'm just going to come out, do what I can do to help the team, keep it moving. I mean, if this is a way to try to get me on ball, I guess that's just what we have to do. End quote. Poole said, which I love how he's just thinking about if he's going to get on ball again. Which I mean, look, Jordan Poole, it's not been great. Jordan Poole this past season, if you guys want to know the exact stats that he has put up, I can read them to you right now. Jordan Poole this season is putting up stats of 15.7 points, 2.5 rebounds, 3.6 assists, a steal a night, on 39.6% from the field, on 30.4% from three. Now, somebody's going to say, well, what's his effective field goal percentage? 46.6%. What's his true shooting? Oh, you want to know his true shooting? Here you go. Yeah, you go. His true shooting right here for the season is 50.9, which is the worst since his rookie year where he shot 40.4, 45.4, which, again, crazy to think because right now the league, if you just look at the league average effective field goal percentage is 54%. League average true shooting this season is 58, which is absurd to think about because a few years ago, league average true shooting was 55, but it's looking like 58 is this season. I've always just told 55 or better. Same thing with like player efficiency rating. It's always if it's over 15, it's better for like PER and that. Just like little tidbits right there. If you guys didn't know, now you know. Yeah, but for me, yeah, I've always thought this was kind of cool how it all played out. And I thought this was a team that was going to benefit from having Jordan Poole on their squad because he's going to be flippable, because he's going to look better. I was a bit overzealous. I wasn't going to sit here and be like, oh, he's going to be amazing. I just thought it could be similar to how Eric Gordon was for those Pelicans Hornets teams from a few years ago. That was my whole thing, but obviously that's not happening. And it's definitely interesting to see how this is all played out because he has kind of looked abysmal. And I don't know how we're going to get off that contract and if we ever are. But if we were, I'm curious to see what we would do. But I mean, I just think we kind of put ourselves in this position. I think I just think it might be an accountability thing. I mean, he literally said that, oh, if I'm moving to the bench and it's a way to keep getting the ball in my hand, then I'm cool with it. Basically, as long as the ball is in my hand, I'm Jordan Poole, and I approve this message. Is what it seems like he was telling people. But I don't know. I definitely think it's a different one that we are not typically used to. And I think that's why, in a way, we are looking at this differently than how we have in the past, because we haven't really seen a team tank like they did since the Thunder. I feel like the Thunder did it way better. But yeah, that's my 2 cents on Jordan Poole and the whole, I guess you would say, thing that's he's dealing with. But yeah, I'm not a fan. But let's move on to the rest of the headlines. The rest of those headlines are going to be the Pistons made some move. I mean, Jalen Crutcher, who signed a 10-day deal, who's averaging 17.7 points with the Pelicans and 5.6 assists, is with the Birmingham Squadron. Now he's signing with the Pelicans, I believe. Buddy Boehm, it was on a two-way now with the Pistons. He was averaging almost 16 points, 44% from the field in the G with the Motor City Cruise. Stanley Umid is a guy who's, getting his two-way converted to a standard deal. He's played decent over the last 17 games. And Tosan, who we actually had, I think, on a summer league deal at one point, he was on, I think he was with the Grizzlies. My apologies. But Tosan's a guy who just signed a two-way after finishing his 10-day. And he's averaged 15, 8.5, and 4 in the G. So I definitely think it's good to see all these guys signing, like Ashton Higgins, who got himself a two-way. Took a few years, but he's broken into the NBA, and that's what we're excited to see. We saw Malcolm Kazalon get waived. Chris Paul is allegedly close to returning, which, if you're a Warriors fan, is a good sign because he had been out for a while. And I know that definitely was frustrating for a lot of people, as it was just kind of unknown if he was going to be back or not. But yeah, I'm definitely a fan of what they're doing here, and I think the biggest thing we need to see with the Warriors with Chris Paul coming back is, can they keep this going? Can they keep the momentum? I think that's definitely one of the bigger things that you need to keep an eye out for, as However, this turns out will be dependent on how they're able to integrate Chris Paul into his lineup. By the way, DeMarcus Cousins, if you guys want to check out, I interviewed DeMarcus Cousins the other day, and DeMarcus Cousins was a guy who I got to sit down on my phone. There's an alert on my phone. Okay, pets. Hey, yes, we just got mentioned on Twitter. So basically, if you guys don't know, DeMarcus Cousins is retiring. I was just about to break it, but yep, DeMarcus Cousins is over. I can't believe it, really. You know, you sit here and I'm gonna just give myself 2 minutes of stardom right here. I met up with DeMarcus Cousins at All-Star Weekend, and DeMarcus Cousins told me that he is done with the NBA right here. Boom. It's over. And it was cool. I think it was fun watching him. I think it was cool. Also, how many seasons did DeMarcus Cousins play? How many seasons did he says 12? I counted 11. I still can't believe it. Wait. It's about to tell me 12 right here, and I'm fucking wrong. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I guess he is a 12. Well, do you count the year that he was injured? I don't know. I'm going to ask my boss. Should I change it to 11-year or 12-year vet? But either way, yeah, DeMarcus gone. If you guys want to read this whole thing, it's there. I will upload on my personal channel the video. So that video will be uploaded very soon. And yeah, DeMarcus gone. Crazy. Sometimes you think about it and you're like, it's wild. Think about your heroes when they're gone. I will say gone, but not forgotten. Either way, let's continue and let's see what other rumors we got. I still can't believe that we got two more things that I'd like to talk about. Otto Porter. It is really cool doing these interviews. You get to talk to your idols. First off, I can't say that. I can't. There's things I want to say and things I experience. Once you get into the media side of sports, especially where I'm getting the opportunity to do things that I dreamed of, have conversations with people, and just overall just try to impress basketball minds with my knowledge. And regardless from either talking to someone in the media or talking to someone who is either maybe a bit more, I guess the right way to say this would be people who matter or maybe don't matter depending on what you what you think of them. But for me, it's having the opportunity to talk to people that I've either read about, I've watched, and not have them think I'm a schmuck. So I wrote the wrong two, but who cares? Grammatically, that's incorrect. Otto Porter is a guy that is leaving the Jazz to evaluate it. His options. This is coming from the Athletic. Utah Jazz forward Otto Porter Jr. has returned to his home to evaluate his options for the remainder of the season and is not joining the team Thursday. as they open half the second half of their schedule against the Charlotte Hornets. League sources tell The Athletic, the 30-year-old Porter, whom the Jazz acquired 2 weeks ago when they traded Kelly Olynyk, Ochai Agbaji to the Raptors, is fully healthy and ready to play. His options, including accepting a contract buyout from the Jazz, which would allow him to sign with another team. Porter will have have to sign before March 1st, which is in 6 days. And he's a guy that I talked about this. Otto Porter Jr., obviously, people are going to say go back to Golden State as the most likely option. I'm going to be quite frank, guys. I don't think Golden State's the front runner. I personally think that the front runner is either Miami, Phoenix, Milwaukee. I don't even know if Milwaukee's in there. I feel like NBA players are starting to look at Milwaukee, probably not wanting to go there because the dock and the whole situation there. So I would say maybe New York, but I feel like New York, he wouldn't get minutes. So maybe Los Angeles, the Lakers or the Clippers could use him. But I really do think Phoenix would give him minutes. Dallas would give him minutes. He would have to fight for those minutes, but Dallas less likely, but Dallas could be a team he could jump onto. Boston, the three that I really like that I think he could actually get minutes: Boston, Miami, and Phoenix. Phoenix, he legit could even be a starter on that team if he shot well enough next to KD, Beal, Booker, and Nurkic and take a Kobe spot. But Miami, another there like that, they kind of need a guy there, and he kind of fits perfect in Miami, being that 3.69 shooter that would work there. And the last team I just said was, I'm blanking on them now. Phoenix, Miami, Boston. And Boston, you would take Sam Hauser's minutes and give him more defense. So I literally look at Otto Porter. I'm like, wow, man, there's a lot of options for you over here. This ain't that bad of a situation that you put yourself in. A lot of people would be jealous, to say the least. And man, I do wonder if the NBA is going to take advantage of the fact that I feel like it's wide open. So some of these teams that maybe have a positional, again, if a guy's getting bought out, you have to understand they're getting bought out because they're not that useful of a player. When was the last time a buyout player has been a dramatically impactful player? Yeah, that's what I thought. Crickets, because it doesn't really happen. And for me, when I look at a guy like Otto Porter Jr., who I'm a fan of, because you guys know I'm a Wizards fan, so we drafted him, even though he's fucking terrible for us for the most part. We drafted him, and I still hope the best for him. He's in 15 games this year. He's only played 23 in the last 2 years. He put up 11 minutes, 2.6 points, 42.4% from the field, 35% from 3, 2 rebounds. And that's basically what he's averaged since going to Toronto, and he hasn't really played. He's only 30 years old, though, so he's still technically young, even though his body's taking a beating. He's a guy that at this point in his career, he's going to be your prototypical 3-and-D combo forward. He's skinny as health. Hypothetically, he can play small forward, power forward. Maybe he's more of a small forward shooting guard. He's kind of a shooter who he has a decent post up and pull up game, but at this point, he's just a shooter. And he used to be a good defender who could stick to multiple positions. And he's team first player, great role player. It's just, what is he at this point in his career? How injured is he? And that's where we're at with Otto Porter. Why is this picture so funny? Boom. Sorry, guys. I don't know why I went quiet. I just started thinking. So there was this picture of this referee, and I didn't realize I went silent there for a second. A referee, and I started thinking it was just a funny ass picture. But either way, let's go ahead and talk about Isaiah Hartenstein. And Isaiah Hartenstein, I really did just go silent on Isaiah Hartenstein. I never do that. I do usually a good job of like continuously letting myself have stream consciousness. But I am kind of doing a couple things that are on my mind. Like over here, I'm turning to my laptop as we talk. If it's still on, it might have actually died on me. Now it did. So championship. So there's like a lot of things that I do with like myself. And I can't believe I got to start this draft guide. I'm very fortunate. I am doing doing for the first time the hoops hype draft guide, and it's a lot of responsibility, but I'm also aware that it's it's really cool, and then I'm getting an opportunity to something that I love, but I need to start writing it in terms of I've got a few players I'm going to continue doing today. My other draft content that I usually do during this time of the year. Isaiah Hartenstein is a guy that is not happy about his minutes restriction, and I think it's definitely, I mean, valid. I think anybody would be happy if you told them, "Hey, guess what? Your minutes are being cut," because everybody wants to play as many minutes as they can. It's the NBA. Now, what we're hearing from the New York Post is the New York Post has said that Isaiah Hartenstein returned to the court Thursday night and emphasized that the main goal victory was accomplished, but he also left the arena a little frustrated over his minutes because they strayed from the ramp-up plan, who previously missed a couple games with sore Achilles. Bro, if you have a sore Achilles, let them, like, bro, I have a sore Achilles this past week, and I've been I play basketball like every day, taking a couple days off because I can't risk like me popping my Achilles. Like I'm not a professional basketball player. I can't pop my Achilles. So that way, it was just one of those things that when you looked at it, it made sense that I took a few days off. And I just think for him to be complaining about his Achilles, it's just a little bit like, bro, big picture, big picture. But I understand that he was supposed to play 21 minutes. And I understand that frustration. So, but at the same time, Isaiah Hartenstein, you're a fantastic basketball player, and the season's so long. Let's rather have you ready for the playoffs instead of getting hurt. So far for the season, he's shooting 62% from the field, 7 points, 33% from three on a very, 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 very limited sample size, 8.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1.5 steals, basically like all career highs. And people forgot the Isaiah Hartenstein story. It's a great one. And this season as a starter, he's been absolutely phenomenal. Yes, as a starter this year, Isaiah Hartenstein, 7 foot 250. He's been a guy that threw 25 games starting, 8 points, 10.8 rebounds, 3 assists with 1.5 blocks, 1.5 steals, 64% from the field. He's done a great job of being able to be a guy that can help his team play. And I think that's the biggest thing is when you look at Isaiah Hartenstein, he's a brick wall. When he sets screens, it's tough. Good motor, defensive minded. He's willing to do all the dirty work. Got a good vision on the court for passing. A little slower outside, but and hasn't had a jump shot. But man, I love what he does and what he brings to the court. I think he just doesn't need to complain about the limited sample size. I think he could be a good player. And yeah, I think my whole idea with Isaiah Hartenstein is I understand you want to play more, but sometimes you need to understand that what you want isn't best for the team. Okay. And we need to always look at how can we make the situation better? How can we, have our guys go out there and get more minutes without putting them at risk for injury? And sometimes you have to think, okay, if they're at risk of injury, we rather have them for the long haul. And I understand competitors are always going to want to compete. Right? It's always going to be a thing. So I get that. I get that. I get that. So that's where I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts in the comment section if you guys are in agreement. But yeah, I'm down. I'm it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Those are my 2 cents on the Isaiah Hartenstein thing. Let's go do a little quick update on the rest of the rumor mills and see what's going on with the league. And then we're going to call it quits today. Do Pirtle real quick, and then I'm going to head out. as today was a quick episode with everything that's gone on. And I'm for it. I'm all for it. I'm always, trying to see how we can improve. But because I'm doing this solo, I'm not going to waste your guys' time any longer. And I do appreciate everyone who was here. I'm doing I got to check real quick. Where's my, there it is. There's like when you open up, so yesterday, because we recorded an episode, I want to see the recording and then you want to download it. So I've been using podcast.audio. Fuck, I gotta edit something for one of my teachers. Today's gonna be a long day. I also want to play basketball. I have not played basketball in a few days because my Achilles. And now that my Achilles is like comfortable, I feel better about jumping up and off it than I have had in the last couple of days. I want to go play basketball and get my workout in, but I do have things that I want to do because the thing with basketball is I have to play at least for an hour, and I feel this is a weird thing is I love playing basketball at any point of the day, but if I play it too early in the day, I get an itch to play it again in the afternoon. So I found that the best time for me to play is between noon and 4, as I feel a lot better. I've also found a YMCA, which I might start to hit more often so I can hit runs. I mean, I go to the University of Miami, but it's a bit far of a drive, so I can only go and like they don't get runs. I went to Kansas, so we used to have runs all the time, like so many runs. You could go any time of the day and get a run going, which is fun. And for me, I think that was always one of the cooler things in the sense that I want to always be ready to, play my best version of basketball. And I don't know, I feel like definitely when you look at how the NBA also, I love looking at when Jason Tatum answers a question. It's always so funny because he's the type of guy that makes me laugh because he just goes back to his phone. When he's at like the press conference, this guy's always on his phone, which is fine. But that's it. Oh, okay. So no, I don't want to go that deep. Sometimes this is the quote that I want. Here we go. And then I want to championship. Sometimes when you like, someone's gonna tell me this. Okay, so how is this my fault? I so sometimes when you're like editing this, you want to make sure you have like the whole quote that you want, but so I found the quote that I want, but it's going way longer than I thought. Okay, Jason Tatum, you having a fun time here? You having a fucking fun time? Okay, there. You guys can hear this. Important part is different guys, and Luke is an important part of this team. All right. Um, kind of ensure that we win every single night that we're in, first place, that we're trying to be the best team. That look, you guys hear this? On the team feels about. This is all of it. I hate this shit. Sometimes, guys, when you're trying to edit a clip, it just doesn't work out the way you want it. Sorry. Let's finish this off with Pirtle and let's look at real GM if there was anything else that I wanted to touch on here. Yeah, nothing. We touched on it all. I mean, unless, yeah, I was gonna say if you guys want to do my, if I want to do my draft stuff, but now my draft stuff, I will do it separately. So let's go ahead and show you guys my screen. By the way, I'm going to end the recording here for the. Alrighty. Show silhouettes. Somebody with like a ponytail, basically. Or what hairdo is this? Okay. Well, I want to see this. So we're going to go with Daniel Tice. He's in the West, Pacific North. He's not in the Pacific. So we're going to go with he's short. I'm going to go with a white guy. See if he's in the Northwest. So he is in the Northwest. He's older than 24. Let's see if he's on the Timberwolves. He's not on the Timberwolves. He's not on the Nuggets. So could he be on the Blazers? It's not on the Blazers. So there's two more teams in the Northwest, which are the Utah Jazz and Utah Jazz, which wouldn't be. I know this isn't him. There's one more team in the Northwest, and I'm blanking on it. Northwest teams that are in the. This is bad, man. This is bad. I'm trying to think of Northwest teams. Mm, I'm trying to think. Trying to think. You got Portland, Utah, Minnesota, Denver, Oklahoma City. Poku, Uzmang Jang. He's a short dude. He's just trade man. Who the fuck is this? Clearly he's on. We're just gonna type in Josh Giddey. Obviously, it's not Josh Giddey, but he's on the Oklahoma City Thunder. He wears 12. Wears 12. Okay. He's 6'7". He's 6'6". 6'6" on this team. I'm surprised they also kept Poku, by the way, guys. Dude, I know it's not Uzmang Jang. Oh my God. I knew Uzman Jang was a close number. I just want to say that I know the Thunder roster, and this has got to be some scrub that I've fucking never heard of because it's pissing me the fuck off. It's clearly someone told. It's not Bismack Biyombo. He's 6'7". Is it Gordon Hayward? It can't be Gordon Hayward. I'm gonna try Gordon Hayward, but I doubt it's Gordon Hayward. Like that's my next option is Gordon Hayward, which is gonna piss me off. It's Lindy Waters. This is the first one I never got. Woo, Lindy Waters. Didn't even think about Lindy Waters. I'm done. Not even happy about that.